All right, so warm up today, we've got actually just some simplifying, or really should say evaluate here. Where we're just trying to evaluate this down to what number does this equal? Or actually, numbers, you'll see in a second. All right, so order of operations is really all that's at work here. So we say parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So parentheses wise, there's nothing in these parentheses we need to do. There is an exponent that we should be dealing with here. So that's going to be 25. So if we're looking at this, we're kind of simplifying things. That's going to be 25 minus, and we can go ahead and multiply these out. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 1 is also still 9. So we're basically looking at that. 25 minus 9 is 16. And the square root of 16, don't forget about this, is always two answers. So it's plus or minus 4. So that's what we're looking at there. Just can you do the order of operations? All right, so again, all of these have the same format. And there's a reason for that. You're going to see that when we get to the notes today. All right, so negative 5 squared is positive 25. Make sure you remember that. Any number squared becomes positive, unless it's imaginary. And then you have a negative 5 times a negative 1. It's going to be positive 5. Times 3 is going to be positive 15. All right, cool. So that's going to be the root of 40. 40 is not a perfect square. You know, like if you try to square root 40, you're going to get some irrational number. Okay, irrational meaning the decimals go on without any kind of pattern or anything like that. So we don't want to leave it like this, though. We want this as simplified as we can. We did a little bit this the other day, where you want to break this up into any perfect square factors that it has. So, for example, 4 is a perfect square that goes into this. So I could rewrite this as root 4 times root 10. And the reason I'd want to do that is I can take the square root of 4 as 2 and have 2 root 10. Now, again, it's still plus or minus. It always is. But 10, I can't simplify any further. There's no perfect squares like 4 or 9 or 16 or anything like that goes into it. So that would be my fully simplified answer. And yes, you do need to do that. If you leave it like this, it's not completely simplified, so it's not what we're looking for. So you do need to get the root broken out of it as much as you possibly can. All right, last one here. Let's see what we're working with. So 2 squared is going to be 4. Then negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Times 2 is going to be negative 20. All right, so 4 minus 20 is going to give us a negative 16. So it's extremely similar to the first problem, but it's negative. And hopefully you haven't forgotten, the root of a negative is going to give you an imaginary number. So this is going to be plus or minus like always, but 4i this time. So really similar to the first one, but since it's negative, it's going to be an imaginary number. So we're going to use this skill when we get to today's notes, learn about what's called the quadratic formula, and hopefully this helps out.